Hi chat, welcome to the stream, glad to have you guys here. Today we're playing Honkai Impact 3rd, main story part 60, and as always, I am surprised that we've been playing it for this long, but it seems like we are actually nearing the end, maybe? We still have like all of chapter 42 to go through, and then some stuff after that, but today at least we're going to finish this section and maybe start some of chapter 42, but we'll see what we have time for. Yeah, with that, let's go ahead and get right into it, and hopefully nothing too chaotic happens today. That was so bright. Oh my god. Fuha closed her eyes unconsciously the moment she fell into the water. But just a moment later, what came to her wasn't the suffocating pressure of the water. Fuha opened her eyes and found herself in a familiar and vacant space.
箱舟？違う。モリアーティの話によると、東映としての私は今、世界の外に飛ばされたはず。とにかく、周りを調べてみましょう。
Yippee! Exploration time, even though there's like nothing to look at here. Oh. Okay, he just kind of came out of nowhere. Hello, sir. After the adventure in the Forbidden Grounds, Fuha expected that energy masses of similar natures could give her some special intel that couldn't be obtained through recon. But the condensate before her eyes had nothing within. Long years of experience using Fenwing Down had enabled her to tell whether an object contained human memories. But such a hollow existence was well beyond her experience.
他に手がかりがないか探してみましょう。
Okay, just random lights right there. That's fine. Different from the hollow space earlier, this memory was filled with numerous noisy ideas. A dangerous being from a dangerous world. What matters is my thinking and not his. Representative, dispose of this exhibit when you have time. It doesn't matter. It's only an exhibit.
これらの思考の源は
Somehow, I feel like I know exactly who is saying that. We're not gonna say it, but I think everyone knows. Alright, we have more lights right here.
思考ではなく、ノート。
11 and 12 neighbor each other. Minutes fall on both shores of the clock. The sacred earth of dawn and dusk, the proud steel sail. The sound of tide nears, the transient life has gone away. When the stars sing to the depths of the ocean, the great bird will call her name.
これは
I'm confused. What was any of that about?
私がポロスに来てから箱舟とグレーシュを発見するまで、そういった視点から見れば、このノートの持ち主は私がここで出会うすべてをよく知っているようだ。こんな曖昧なやり方で私に情報を伝えるなんて、誰かに気づかれないように警戒していたのでしょうか。そういえば、まだ地球にいた時に遭遇したあの謎の存在は姿を見せずに私の思考を導き、私をそれに
I mean, she still chose to follow the mysterious voice, so I don't know what that's gonna say about her considering that she followed something that never actually showed itself. Basically, she wasn't being as cautious as she should have been,
他に新たな発見はなさそうだ。グレーシュ、私はどうすれば現実に戻れるのでしょうか。
I'm sure V will help you find the way out again.
僕のサポートが必要かな。
Right as I said that. Oh my god. I mean, I did call it.
僕たちはとても縁があるみたい
I
だね。
just didn't expect her to appear like immediately after. That's kind of funny.
この声は
正解。ポロスの元代理人、世界の輪廻を見届けた者、博物館の主。おや、肩書きが多すぎるかな。
もう偶然ワコウ君が撮った写真を見たんです。ですが、B さんとしての言動を考えると、あなたを単なる彼らのお姉さんとして 信用することはできないかもしれません。
確かに君の言葉は論理的だ。でも順調とは言えない交流が何度もあったからこそ、僕たちは今こうして出会えたんだ。何せ君が本当に僕が出したヒントに従って生異物へのエネルギーの供給を断ってたら、確かにモリアーティはいなくなってたけど、その前に君の投影もポロスから消えてたと思うよ。
生異物？博物館ではなく？
大体わかったよ。モリアーティを博物館にある投影だと思ったから、当時の疑心のようにエネルギーの供給を断ちさえすれば、モリアーティのエネルギーもなくなると考えたんだね。
Okay, so I guess her like trying to cut off the museum power is just complete misunderstanding. But then again, they didn't really have enough time for Vita to actually tell her what she needed to do. Because all she heard, if I remember correctly, was just that she needed to shut something off. But she
モ
didn't
リ
say
アーテ
exactly
ィ
what it
が
was.
楽園の番人の権限を握る前までなら、その判断は確かに成立しただろうね。でもポロスのやり方で言うと、楽園の番人を操る権限は生異物と密接な関係があるんだ。博物館の権限と比べられるものではない。君は倭寇からヒントを得て博物館までたどり着いたんだよね。残念ながら彼らは生異物をよく知らない。だからこそ君に間違った情報を与えてしまったんだ。
どうして今までそれを私に教えてくれなかったんですか？
僕は自分勝手な悪い女だからね。どうしても具体的に話してほしいのかな？
I mean, it would be nice if you didn't leave out any information, yeah.
どんな時も自分の利益を最大にしたいと思っているから。君やゼーレのような優しい人には手も足も出ないんだ。
ゼーレさんのことを知っているんですか？
そうだよ。でもそれは漁師の海での長いお話で、
I think it's
僕た
kind
ち
of
の目
weird
の
though that
前
she
にある
mentioned
危機と
Sealy
は
right there.
何の関係もないよ。
Like, she's completely unrelated to the current matter. And honestly, that kind of makes her sound even more suspicious because she knows her. And obviously, by bringing her up, she knows that Fuha knows her.
どうしてこの世界には君やモリアーティのような投影の人間が存在するの？ポロス、それは僕たちが今直面している危機と関係があるし、具体的な答えを教えることもできる。だってここは一応僕の故郷だからね。それでどの話題から話そうか。
What's the deal with the projections? What's the truth about the history? Who is the creator and where are we now? I guess we'll just get the chance to go through all of them one by one, so I'll just start with the projections.
その話か。僕たちが太陽系の果てにいることは知っているん
Yeah,
でし
that
ょ？
was said an extremely long time ago.
太陽から4500天文単位ですよね。
天文単位？ああ、地球から太陽までの距離だったね。ちょっと計算させて。大丈夫。ただの物理単位の違いだよ。とにかくここは太陽から遠すぎて、生態環境は固有世界よりむしろ量子の海の方に近い。博物館の投影の多くは量子の海から来たもので、モリアーティは固有世界からの複製品だよ。他のあまり驚いていないようだね。まあいい。少なくとも僕が嘘をついていないという証明になるかな。
モリアーティはあなたをずっと探しているようです。いいえ、というより彼は確実にいるのに姿を現さない存在を探そうとしています。それはあなたですか？
へえ、そうだったんだ。彼は結構鋭いんだね。
You know, as much as I'm glad that we have here to like give us information, do we have time for this? Like the mini Vitas are kind of struggling right now, and you know, not really getting brainwashed, but being manipulated after losing their present memories and gaining their old ones. So, do we really have the time to be chatting right now?
さっき言ったように
Probably
僕
not,
はあの
but
博物
I
館
guess
の
it'll
主
somehow
の一
work
人だ。
out.
モリアーティを含めて面白い展示品は全て僕が選んで陳列した。彼にとっては嫌なことかもしれないけどね。
Vita added this flippantly, as if she was talking about a novel item with no particular value instead of an evil genius who just turned phosphorus upside down. Somewhat, Fuha recalled more. I can't read, guys. Oh my god. Somewhat, Fuha recalled Moriarty's disdainful look back in the museum, and something she heard after plunging in the cascade.
初めて会った時、あなたは私の体を、投影を奪おうとしていました。
確かにそうだけど、それに関しては僕たちの創造心と直接的なつながりがあるんだ。
Right? What is the truth about the history?
君はポロスとヘスペの関係を聞いているの？
そう思ってもらっても構いません。以前、ヘスペを破滅させた洪水が発生したとモリアーティは言っていました。
そのままの意味だよ。世の中が汚れていたから創造神が天罰を下したんだ。世界を壊滅させる洪水で神が全てを洗い流した結果。
神話について聞いているわけではありません。
でも実際に起きた出来事だよ。
8
一度だけ
times?
じゃな
Oh
く
my
て
god.
8度もね。
So the world has been destroyed 8
今の
times.
ポロ
That's
スは
crazy.
もう9個目のポロスだ。驚いているの？そうだね。最も簡単な理屈で説明するなら、僕たちの故郷は彗星みたいなものだ。つまり創造神の存在がいなかったら、ここは太陽系の果てに存在する汚い雪の玉だ。
でもポロスに雪はありません。
その通り、水は地下にあるからね。量子の海とつながってるトンネルも創造神の正体も全部地下にあるんだ。天災が訪れた時、地下のすべては火山のマグマのように噴き出し、ドカーン。
待ってください。そうなると
I mean, the
Vita
memories
さんたちの
are
記憶
real.
は
It's just. It's kind of annoying that they had to lose their present memories to get the old ones back. And like I said last time, I still think they would have been way better off without getting those memories back.
君の想像通りだよ。
Considering that
あれも
they're all kind of
想像神の傑作だ。
traumatized after remembering how many times they've died. But anyways, who is the creator? I mean, we
僕の
already
こと
kind of
さ。
know, but yeah.
ああ、これはポロス風なジョークだよ。何せ僕があいつのコ
Obviously,
ピ
the
ーで、
creator is Saw.
君が会っていた小さなビタたちは僕のコピーだ。かつての僕たちは楽しく一緒に暮らしていた。ある日、僕が創造神の命令に従わずに罰を与えられて、ここに。
正直に言いますが、この場で作った話だとしても少し適当すぎませんか？それに、たとえあなたが私の体を奪ったとしても、ビタさんたちに迷惑をかけるだけです。
あの件は君の想像とは少し違うよ。僕が君から借りようとしたのは投影自体じゃなくて、投影を存在させているルートだ。
So would she have just been
つま
sent
り
back home in that
僕は
case?
自分のやり方でポロスに戻るだけで君の代わりになるわけじゃない。もちろんそれが
Okay,
実
yeah.
現してたとしたら、
She would have still ended up
今
back
の
on
君
Earth.
はとっくに地球に戻ってたと思うよ。まあその
It's
場合、
both a good and
グ
bad
レーシュ
thing
と
that it
再
didn't
会する
actually
機会を
happen.
なくしていたけ
Like,
ど
it's a
ね。
good thing because she managed to, find and wake up Grizio, but it's a bad thing because she missed her chance to go home.
これからあなたはどうするんですか？正々堂々とポロスに戻るつもりですか？
あのものはなんて言えばいいんだろう。膨張しすぎたんだ。代理人としての能力を使用しない限り、
じゃあ、生物は？それは創造神がポロスに与えた何らかの宝物ですか？
Yeah, I feel like we still have way too little information about the artifact. I mean, it gets mentioned every once in a while, but we don't know what exactly it is because even the mini Vitas don't really know. The talkative representative suddenly fell silent.
僕はただ どう話すべきかを考え
Is
てた
she
だけだ
having
よ。
to like think about how to explain it to us or what?
簡単に言うと、生物は楽園の番人のコントローラーなんだ。前のポロスにあった廃棄された生物にも同じ効果がある。それがモリアーティの力の源なんだろうね。でも廃棄された生物とは違って、最新のポロスの中心にある唯一で完全な生物は創造心を現実に召喚できるんだ。
I mean, given what we know about Asa, I think that is a really, really bad idea. You know, summoning her is quite possibly the worst thing that could happen.
今はその話に触れたくない。僕たちはまだポロスの近くにいるからね。今はただその程度の知識があれば十分だよ。
That's all we need to know? Okay.
ちょっと話がずれるけど、和光が何もないところで転ぶ理由を知ってる？実は彼は全てのビタの中で一番創造心に似てないんだよ。
Alright, well, where are we right now?
この空間のこ
And
とか
how
な。
can we get back?
名前をつけたことがあるんだ。精霊の道ってね。そんなにロマンティッ
Why
クじ
did
ゃない
she
言い
name it
方
the
をする
Path
と、
of Fairy? That
こ
sounds
こは
so
漁師の
random.
海の中で人
I
為
mean,
的に整理された
an
幼鳥
amusing
の小
name,
道
but
だよ。
it's like so random considering there's literally nothing here.
つまりやり方は違うけど、モリアーティがライヘンバッハを最初に選んだことと同じ効果があるということでしょうか。
ライヘンバッハってバンドの名前？
ライヘンバッハの滝を知らないなら、どうやってモリアーティを博物館の展示品にしたんですか？
漁師の海で彼を拾ったんだ。出張から帰るタイミングで手土産に困っていてね。生物の標本より貴重なものはないでしょ。それに当時の彼は死にかけていたから投影を作るのに便利でね。顔も悪くなかったし。
You know, not to question her taste in souvenirs, but ma'am, what the heck? I don't think you should get a living sample as a souvenir. Oh my god.
安心し
Then
て。
again, none of this
君
would
は
have
この
happened
空
if she
間
just
に閉
didn't
じ
pick
込め
him
られ
up.
ているけど、幸いに
Phosphorus
も
would have been
僕がいる。
completely safe if she
僕は
got, you
弟と
know,
妹
a
を助けた
non-living
いし、
souvenir instead of
君
him.
はグレーシュを助けたい。動機から目的まで完全に一致しているよね。そうでしょ？僕と肩を並べて戦って損はさせないから。
Okay, I guess we have one last question.
最後にもう一つ質問があります。あなたの話が本当だという証拠はありますか？
I don't think there really is a way for us to know if she told the truth. We can just, you know, determine that ourselves, like, decide whether or not to believe her. I still, I guess we're not gonna change
それ
anything.
は実にいい問いだ。なんて言えばいいのかな。証拠なんて何もないよ。本気で君と手を結びたいのかもしれないし、気まぐれで君をからかっているのかもしれない。君が持っている何かが欲しくて君を騙そうとしている可能性だってある。いずれにせよ君は判断できないし、そうする意味もない。結局のところ君は僕よりもここから出たいと思っているからね。まあ僕も君と一緒にいないと久しぶりのポロスに戻れないけど運命の贈り物みたいだね。面白いと思わない？
While speaking, she reached out her hand.
さあ教えて。僕はつ
I
いさっ
mean,
き
I guess we can
こっ
trust you
そ
for
り
now,
離れら
but
れるいいチャ
at
ン
the
スを見
same
つけた
time,
ん
like
だ。
even in the previous area, she
も
was
しこ
pretty
の
hard
機
to
会を見
trust.
逃したら君は
Not
数
as
日
bad
間
as
も
Miss
時間
Dawn,
を
but
無駄に
still
するかもね。
pretty suspicious. Just because she usually never has a way to prove what she's saying.
わかりました。
いいね。判断が早い。君はさっぱりした性格をしてるんだね。
Ikuzo! Let's get back to the mini vitas.
どう？
Oh,
僕と視
okay.
界を共有してクリアに見えるようになったか
I
な。
mean, I see some enemies, but that's
これ
it.
は
めったに見られないバグだよ。君は運がいい。雑談している間に精霊の道にどんな変化があったのかはわからないけど、 こんなにわかりやすいバグが僕たちの前に現れるなんて。さあ早く行こう。目の前のバグを潰さないと僕たちはこの空間から出られない。
残念ながらそのバグとやらの正体を知っています。最初から存在しているものにミステリアスなベールをかぶせることで他人の信頼を得る。
おや、特殊な状況だからね。特殊な対応が必要なんだ。前回禁足地で会った時、君の投影はまだ現実世界に存在していた。だから現実世界と交流できる橋を見つけたらここを出られるんだ。その時に君に見捨てられないために仕方なく君を騙すしかなかった。
なんだか自慢しているみたいですね。
もちろん
I mean, she
僕が
definitely
実
doesn't
力で
have
君を騙したんだよ。
any remorse
自
for
慢
what
に
she
思っちゃ
did.
ダメ。でも君も自慢に思っていいんだよ。
Why is
僕
that
の
something
罠
to
に
be
は
proud
まって
of? Oh my
自力で
god.
抜け出せる人なんてそういないんだから。
自分勝手な人だ。
Well, yeah, she's
前
Vita
回の
after
ことを
all.
全く気にしていない。
But this time, she was showing her true face. Wait, I read that totally wrong. This time, was she showing her true face or just pulling a trick again?
とにかく今回君は直接精霊の道に入っている。ここを出たければ自分の手でこの空間にひびを作らないと。ひびの位置と形態は空間次第でランダムに決まるから、漁師の海の怪物という形になったんだろうね。安心して大船に乗ったつもりでいて。君を愚弄するつもりは全くない
Right,
から
I
ね。
guess it's just combat time yet again. Which I'm totally fine with.
さあ行こう。
But let's just go ahead and get that over with so we can save the mini Vitas and Grizio.
何を心配しているの？
てっきり私はあなたも一緒に戦うんだと思ってい
Why
まし
would
た。
Vita have any reason to fight when she has us here?
おや、ダメダメ。僕は弱いからね。そんなことはできないよ。忘れた
I
の？
mean, if she's already using us to get out, then why wouldn't she use us a little bit more to deal with the enemies?
その程度のことで僕が重傷を負ったら、君を元の世界に連れて帰れなくなってしまうよ。
まあいいでしょう。
わあ、その腕前本当にすごいね。少し前に知り合った人を思い出したよ。
I'm still not totally sure how to use any of these battle suits, but at least I can get through some battles.
いいね。もっと早く。ポロスが
You
僕たち
go
を待って
faster.
いるよ。
I'm doing the best I
見
can,
てるだけなん
Vita.
ですから、せめて静かにしてください。
見てるだけだからこそ口が暇を持て余してい
Well,
るんだ
battle's
よ。
over.
さあ家に帰ろう。
Ikuzo, we're finally back. I mean, unfortunately, things have only gone downhill in her absence. But now that they're back, they should be able to resolve everything, hopefully.
さてビタさん、私はグレーシュがどうなっているのか確認したいと思っていま
They're
す。
immediately parting ways.
そして
Okay.
あなたはビタさんたちのことが気
I
にな
thought
って
they
い
would
る。
work together at least a tiny bit longer, but
それ
okay.
ぞれ目的が違いますから。
ダメだよ。君の手伝いをしたばかりなのに、そんな残酷なことを言わないで。
Vita's voice sounded near her, but Fuha didn't see her around.
ビタさん、どこにいるんですか？
君のポケットの中だよ。
What? In her pocket? Fuha felt her pocket. Nothing but the gift from Orange.
そうそう、これだよ。
Looking at the talking candy, Fuha didn't know what to feel. Neither do I. What the heck is going on?
このキャンディーは運社からもらったんでしょ？
I thought that she would always show up as a hologram here and not as talking candy.
ですが、どうしてそんな姿に？
すでにボロボロになったカメラよりもキャンディーの方が可愛いと思わない？
あなたは普通の体をキープできないんですか？
今の僕は便乗してやっとここに現れることができた。ただの投影だからね。前から言ってたでしょ？今の僕は本当に ただの純粋でか弱
I
い
mean,
女の
since
子。
she's stuck like this, then we really have no choice but to keep working together.
か弱いからって君を連れてここに戻ってきた僕を捨てないようにね。
わかりました。では、
It's
私
not
の
like
指
she
示に
really
従
has
って
any
もらい
choice
ます。
considering she can't move around on her own. A while later.
よし、心配事もなくなったし、次はそろ
I
そろモリ
mean,
アーティにプ
personally,
レッ
I
シャーを
think we
与
still
え
have
な
a
いと
lot
ね。
to worry about, but okay.
僕が彼だったら、今は禁足地で箱舟の研究をしているだろうね。何せ、あれはポロスの発展の源でありながら、彼のあらゆる疑問を解決できる鍵でもある。僕らは君たちの生徒と言えるね。
いいえ、少し謙虚すぎるのではと思っただけです。
僕は最初から謙虚だよ。褒め言葉として受け取っておくね。
Sorry about that. I was drinking some tea. Let's go ahead and... Oh,
こ
hello.
っちでいいと思う。
I was gonna say let's go find Moriarty, but then I saw this guy.
おかしい。中立の立場を保つはずの虚数の造物がどうしてここに？
うん、珍しい怪物だね。
Of course he's thinking about adding to the museum yet again.
まずは一個前の展示品を
Even
何と
during
かし
this
てくださ
entire
い。
situation, she just wants to add to it. That's crazy.
崩壊獣。
It'd
ま
be
た現れたんですね。
comet time. Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, didn't one of the mini vitas actually get away? I don't remember which one it was, probably Cyan. But I'm pretty sure one of them got away at the end of last stream. So hopefully that one's doing okay. I mean, unfortunately the others aren't, but as long as one of them is fine, then we still have some hope.
崩壊獣がまた町に現れている。ここの崩壊現象はますますひどくなっているようです。
それはどうかな。モリアーティが崩壊を消そうとしているなら、その過程で漏れがあっても普通じゃない？
やはりここの状況を監視していたんですね。それってこの崩壊獣たちは彼がわざと残したってことですか？
Why did she say that as a statement instead of a question? Like, it's worded like a question, but the way she actually said it is just a statement.
動物を飼い
It's
な
kind
ら
of
す
just
手段を知って
accusatory.
る？その生
So
存
this
区
is
域に天
exactly what
敵を
he's
数
doing,
体
and you've
残
known
せば
about it.
動物たちは常に警戒状態になるんだ。それにモリアーティの目的はここの災害を解決することではない。でも彼は事態を簡単に考えすぎだよ。本当に彼の望む通りに全てが発展するとでも？さあ早く行こう。
ビタさんの態度が前と少し違うような。
Is she acting any different? If she isn't, I just didn't notice. Maybe she's just extra worried about the mini vitas. I have no clue. I mean, she's still just acting carefree as usual, for the most part at least. Oh. Okay,
投
so
影
our
がまた
projection's
不安
having
定になってい
issues.
ます。一体どういうことでしょう？
もともと一人だけが使える投影の通路が今は僕たち二人を同時に受け入れているからね。
I mean, at
特殊な
least
状
there's an
況だ
easy
し
explanation
少
for
し
it.
我慢して。
これもあなたの傑作だったんですね。以前こうなったのもあ
I'm
な
just
たが
glad that
私を
this
通
means
して
it's not just
ここの
caused
状
by
況を観
Moriarty,
察していたからですか？
so it's nothing to really worry about. I'm sure it's supporting one extra person, but at least it's not being caused by the person who we have to go up against. Because that'd be pretty annoying to deal with. since it would be part of his plan. Alright, battle is almost over. There we go.
I thought it
was pretty obvious that it's the projection is what got weaker.
まさかこんな厄介な邪魔者になってしまうなんて僕も思っていなかったよ。
あなたはこの怪物たちを操れるんですか？
今は無理。こいつらはもともとこの町に属する力で特殊な時にだけ使う清掃員みたいな感じかな。義神の記憶が混乱したのはモリアーティが彼らの制御権限を奪ったからだよ。代理人の指揮に混乱が生じたんだ。言ったでしょ？彼らは僕のコピーだから投影に似たような体の機能も共有されているんだ。君やモリアーティとは違うけどね。
それであの記憶は本当だったんですか？彼らはただ今を忘れているだけなんでしょうか？
Vita replied with an enigmatic smile. Just when she tried to add something, an unexpected voice cut in. Why is she here? I mean, it's probably a good thing that she is, but I don't know. Considering that, wait, no, since actual Vita is here, maybe it can make them trust us a little bit more, since we're around someone that they trust.
レッドさん、バイオレットさん。
ビタお姉ちゃん、その人から離れて、彼女は危ないよ。
待ってくれレッド。ビタ姉さんはいつもと少し違うようだ。ビタ姉さん、どうしてここに？ポロスの異常に気づいてわざわざ僕たちを助けに来たのか？
その通り。君たちを助けに来たんだ。でも君たちの考えとは違うかもね。
Well, you didn't stream yesterday? I did stream yesterday. It was delayed, but I did still stream.
わざわざここに戻ったの。
But I was feeling sick in the morning, so I delayed my stream by a couple hours. But no, it wasn't canceled and it did still happen.
ビタ姉さん、何か誤解してるんじゃ。確か
災害を解決する方法って、君の後ろにいる楽園の番人のこと？悪いけど、そいつらも僕のターゲットなんだ。甘い子たちだね。コントロールできない力を使ったら、自分自身に耐えられない結果をもたらすかもしれないと、モリアーティに対してもそうだ。彼のターゲットは君たちじゃないって、どうして確信できるの？ビタ姉さん、モリアーティはそんな人じゃありません。彼は本気で私たちに協力してくれています。私たちと一緒に崩壊獣と戦っているんです。
You know, I really hope that she talks some sense into them. Because obviously, without their present memories, they don't know that it's Moriarty's the actual evil one here. So they're just choosing to trust him over us.
なるほど。君たちは生まれたてのひな鳥みたいだ。
Okay, but Fuwa has been showing friendly gestures the entire
そい
time,
つは
yet they
悪
choose
者
not
じ
to
ゃない
trust her.
って無意識に思ってしまう。
Instead, they trust the very, very shady guy who is quite literally attacking them to get rid of their memories.
ビタお姉ちゃん、どうしてそんなことを
I
言
don't
う
know
の？
why they would choose to trust that, but oh well.
僕たちに他の選択肢はない。それに、いざという時、僕たちは最後の保険を使うつもりだ。
As he spoke, he touched the key in his chest unconsciously.
君たちは生物の原理を知らないのかもしれない。
I mean, they did say when we first arrived in Phosphorus that they don't know much about the artifact. Because as far as they knew, they had never used it.
すぐに譲歩することはなさそうだ。それならこれ以上話に付き合う理由もない。どいて。僕たちはモリアーティのところに行く。そして君たちは負荷を止められない。ビタ姉さん、本当に話し合う余地はないんですか？
わかった。言っていいよ、ビタ姉さん。ふか。
I mean, at least having Vita here is making things slightly easier for us. Because if we were here without her, there's no way they would have let us anywhere near the area.
ビタ姉さんの言う通りだ。僕たちはモリアーティの話を一方的に信用しす
And
ぎるべ
even
きじゃ
if
ない。
Mindful Vita is very much misguided right now, at least he still has enough brain cells to know not to completely trust Moriarty.
生物をいつでも起動させられるようにすることが今の僕たちにとって一番大事な仕事だ。
まあいいけどね。さあ
Never mind.
行こう。
Never mind what?
お姉ちゃん。僕の代わりに運社や奔走、自立、それと和光によろしくと伝
I
えておい
guess
て。
right now Red just feels like totally betrayed by Vita since she's hanging out with us and all the mini Vitas think that we're the evil one instead of
こ
Moriarty.
れは君の友人が設計した宇宙船みたいだね。
Well, yeah, the ship was built 1,000 years ago.
知っていたんですか。
なんと言っても僕は箱舟が残した様々な記録を細かく研究していたからね。僕が本当に気になっているのは数万年にも及ぶ人生って一体どんな感じなの？
You know, that is definitely a good question considering that she's been alive for over 50,000 years. She would have experienced pretty much everything in that time, yet somehow she doesn't seem bored of anything.
実を言うと、
It doesn't
特
feel
に
like
感じることは
anything.
あり
Oh
ま
my
せん。
god. Being alive for tens of thousands of years doesn't feel like anything. That's crazy.
結局のところ、その事実自体に意味はありません。毎日が新しい一日です。無数の昨日もおのずと命に痕跡を残します。それについて考える必要はありません。
自分の人生のことをそこまで気にしてないんだね。
You know, in this way, she is like so different from Kevin. Because, like, they had both been alive for over 50,000 years, but the way they acted regarding it was like totally different. Because, he was just tired of living for that long and wanted to put an end to it. And then we have her like actively enjoying her life and like doing new stuff.
違います。ただ、私のこと
Oh,
を
I
よく
still
知
don't
ら
know
な
why
い
she
人から
chose
見
to
れ
go
ば
back to school.
確
Because
か
she
に
went
そう
to
なり
Saint
ますね。
Freya. And despite being alive for so long, she just decided to do that instead of literally anything else.
私にとって人生とは、過去も未来も、あらゆる存亡すら関係なく、私が落ち着いて今と向き合えるかどうかだけを意味しています。
じゃあもし君が救いようのない悪者だったら、ほら君の人生の意味があらゆるものと関係ないなら、君が悪いことをしようとしたら誰も君を止められないんじゃない？
その可能性もありましたが、今は違います。
君に違う友人がいるから？君と同じように長い人生を持ち、同じように強い力を持つ友人が？
I mean, out of those friends with extremely long lifespans, only one of them is still remaining. Because others either died or disappeared like suited. So she only has one friend with a long life, and then everyone else just has an average length life.
あなたは何でも知ってるんですよね。
うん、想像はできるよ。ただ僕には向いていない。行こう、モリアーティのところに。
I mean, I'd rather defeat
あ
him
の
instead
愛
of
想
just
笑いを
seeing
浮かべ
him,
た
but
顔
okay,
を
we'll
思
see
いっ
what's
きり
gonna
殴って
happen.
泣かしてやるんだ。きっと最高だね。
Was he just standing here waiting for us? Oh my god.
モリアーティ。
Standing before the gate of the Forbidden Grounds, Moriarty stared at the huge arc standing tall, as if a gardener watching her garden. He turned around on hearing the footsteps. After identifying the visitors, he wore a surprised look, which then turned into a smile and a nod at Fuhua.
ふむ、さすがは名探偵。
やっぱりここに戻ってきたのか。しかし君は戻ってくるべきではなかった。ここは犯行現場でクライマックス前のフィナーレを迎えようとしている。探偵の出番はまだだよ。ステージも掃除したばかりだしね。
God, this guy is so annoying. I can't wait until we like properly defeat him.
君は所詮展示ケースに飾られていた綺麗なお人形じゃないか。お客さんを何人か観察しただけなのに演出家になる才能があるって思い込んじゃったの？
Moriarty didn't speak. He stared at Vito with overflowing emotions in his eyes. I mean, I'm sure he is very annoyed right now considering that she is the entire reason he was an exhibit in the museum.
久しぶりだね。展示品と会話するのは初めてだ。意外に思ってる？それとももう僕を忘れていたのかな？忘れていた？そんなわけないだろう。ここに連れてこられてから僕の頭の中はどんな時でもその気色悪い顔を思い浮かべていたよ。ああ、君はどんな時でもという表現について正しく認識していないかもしれないね。1000年を超える箱舟の旅の中で美しい画家さんが常に意識を保たなければならないとしたら彼女はどうなると思う？宇宙は何もない世界で海よりも数億倍広い。一人でその中にいるとたとえ絶対的な自由があったとしても死よりも辛い孤独に耐
I
えなけれ
mean,
ばならない。
that solitude is why she ended up having an imaginary friend.
もしその空間
God,
上
I
の
already forgot the
無
name
限
of that
を
imaginary friend she
時
had,
間
but
上の無限に
at
換
least it
算
helped
し
her
た
cope a little bit with being all by herself on the arc.
展示ケースに飾られていた綺麗なお人形の苦しみは。
博物館の展示品は束縛されていても意識があるんですか？
仕方ないよ。ただの投影だからね。意識がない状態で長時間放置しておくと展示ケースの中で消えていくだけなんだ。せっかく君の全てをキープして2度目の命を与えてあげたのに君は僕を憎んでいるんだね。
I mean, to be fair, I do get where he's coming from with this hatred. Because, like, as he put it, he was awake that entire time that he was an exhibit in the museum. Like, he couldn't move around or do anything. He was just stuck staring at pretty much nothing, except for occasional visitors in the museum. So I'm sure he would have been extremely bored and slowly going insane.
そんなに自分の命が嫌なら舌を噛んで死んだらどう？人に迷惑をかける必要なんてないじゃないか。
Quite frankly, everything would have been better if you just did that. Considering that your decision to save him and make him an exhibit in the museum caused all this chaos.
ビタさん、
見ただろ？彼女にとって凡人はどうでもいいんだ。そして僕は彼女の家族に危害を加えることでしか苦しみを与えられない。優雅で情熱的で少しそそっかしいがみんなに好かれているだって。おや？まさか君は女性が怒っているところを見たことがないのかな？かわいそうだね。自分の気持ちに嘘をつかずでも待って、
Just
そう
once?
考えると確かに僕
She
は
only
悪いことを
mistreated
した
him
ね。
once? Oh my god.
ごめん、仕事が忙しすぎてうっかり忘れていたよ。何年も経っているのにまだ君に名前をつけていな
He
かった
already
よ
has a
ね。
name though.
モリアーティ、僕の名はモリア
God,
ーティ
she's
だ。
really good at provoking him. Oh my god.
ああ、モリアーティ、何も変わっていないじゃないか。別にいいけど、君がこんなに動き回ると知っていたら以前にもっと大きい展示ケースを用意するべきだったね。
Or you could have just not picked him up to begin with.
君、
Although obviously, this part of the story wouldn't exist if she didn't do that, so it'd be less entertaining.
名探偵を盾にしなければベラベラ喋ることもできないくせに、もうすぐクライマックスを迎える。人に干渉されるのはどちらか君もすぐにわかるはずだ。
You know, I think it's funny that even though he and Fuha are very obviously enemies, he still acknowledges her as a great detective. Like, he's not just overlooking her hard work, he's just actually acknowledging it. Even though it did lead to his loss last time.
そうなの？別に構わないよ。
Because as we knew before, he was supposed to be
お芝居
dead.
を見るのは結構好きだ
And he
か
would
ら
have
ね。
been if Vita didn't
た
interfere.
だ、君のステージには僕の好きな役者が一人もいないみたいだけど、さすがに僕のコピーたちのことを言っているわけじゃないよね。何を笑っているのかな？
今の話、本気でそう思っているのかい？僕の知っている限りでは、一人の人間を理解したいなら、そいつが口にした言葉ではなく、まだ口に出していない言葉を聞くべきだ。君は本当に矛盾に気づいていないのかい？
I guess we overlooked
君
something.
の家
That's
族をステージに
unfortunate.
上がらせたら、君は僕の前に現れた。
Once again, we have underestimated Moriarty. I mean, I guess
それが
he's
君
not
が
a villain
用
for
意し
no
たクライ
reason.
マックスなの？
He is actually really annoying to deal with, just like Otto
新
was.
鮮味がない？構わないさ。すぐに君もこの演目に満足するよ。
You know, Moriarty, somehow I doubt we're gonna be pleased with it, but okay. I mean, we'll be pleased with it if things go how I want them to. But if they go your way in any way, then it's not gonna be good enough. When does our projection have issues again? Because normally it happens like as we're fighting, but so far we've been fine.
どうせこんな奴らでしょ。僕、フカも飽きているよ。そうだよね、フカ。
最高傑作を見たければ、まずは場が盛り上がるのを待ってもらわないと。しかし、そろそろ時間だ。きっと君たちはすぐにこの演目のクライマックスを目にすると思うよ。使いにくいおもちゃたちに元の機能を与えただけだけどね。
どういう意味ですか？楽園の番人の元の機能ってポロスを守ることじゃないんですか？
I mean, considering the artifact is to summon the creator, which we saw who destroys the world, and Vita herself said that the Paradise Wardens are closely tied to the artifact, I think it's safe to assume that their original function was to help destroy the world instead of protect it.
ポロスを守る？確かにそうだね。でも君が禁足地に入り、僕が昔の生異物の中枢を通してそいつらを奪った時、面白い機能を発見したんだ。検出されたあらゆる生命体を無差別に消滅させるという。
君は掃除機能を起動するつもり？
当然さ、事実すでに起動している。君に攻撃した瞬間にね。つまり僕が奴らを操って君たちを攻撃しているわけではない。奴らは平等に全ての人たちを攻撃しているんだ。そしてポロスに視線を向けてみよう。信頼している助手が急に攻撃しだしたら、親愛なる代理人たちはどう思うだろうね。驚く？苦しむ？信じられない？
You know, him saying this just makes it feel like he got them to trust him just to make them feel like, God, how do I word this? Even more distraught, I guess? Because the person that they decided to trust is just gonna end up destroying everything right in front of them. So I guess I'll just feel extremely betrayed.
この目で見られないなんて実に残念だ。
Moriarty observed the reactions of the two and smiled with satisfaction.
やはり君の反応を見る限り、いわゆる生物とやらを起動させると面白い場面が見られるようだ。ああ、どんなものになるんだろう。
がっか
He
りさ
is
せるかも
so
しれませ
annoying,
ん
what
ね。
the heck? I mean, even without actually using the artifact, won't he still at least somewhat achieve his end goal in destroying the world? He doesn't even necessarily need to get the creator here for that to happen. Oh? Wait, how did she... Guys, I thought she was put back to sleep. So, how did she end up here?
おやおや。
いいところに来てくれました、グレイッシュ。
What just happened? Because as far as I knew, she was still sleeping.
ごめん、見落とした怪物と崩壊獣がいないかパトロールしてたら時間がかかっちゃった。フワお姉ちゃん、私遅刻してないよね。
I mean, she did say that you're right on time. So you were definitely not too late. Although I am still wondering how she's awake right now. The museum some time ago, when Fuha was dealing with stuff, I guess. I couldn't read. It went away just a tiny bit too fast. Looking at the last monster fading away, Grizzly was lost in thought. Not long ago, as a result of Fuha operating the console, she woke up from the malfunctioning dormant capsule which disrupted Moriarty's plan. Okay, so I guess that is a very easy explanation for it. I didn't think she would be able to wake up that quickly. It obviously works out for us, but as far as I knew, she was still sleeping, so seeing her awake like this is a little bit of a surprise. Anyways, that said, it was Grizzly herself who was trapped in the museum.
モリアーティ、まさか怪物たちを使って逃げ出す時に博物館自体のエネルギーの供給を断つなんて思わなかった。フワお姉ちゃん。
She wasn't there to see it, but she knew Fuha had risked everything fighting with the projection to save her.
こうなった以上、最初から調べるしかなさそう。
Alright, let's see what colors we can find, since that's how she investigates things.
フワお姉ちゃんの色がある。でもここから落ちたら、フワお姉ちゃんならなんとかできるはず。そう、私もできることを探さなきゃ。
I think it's nice that even after being separated for over 1,000 years, they still have so much faith in each other. It's pretty nice. Because she's not gonna worry about her too much because she knows that she can handle it.
私を閉じ込めた人のものかな。
Or at least she believes that she can handle
色
it.
が伸びてる先は。
Alright, let's go ahead and head over here.
彼は展示ケースの中にいるのが
I
好
should
き
hope he
なの。
doesn't, considering he was literally trapped in there. Okay, what are we investigating next? Okay, just the feather.
綺麗な
That's
鳥
fine.
の羽だ。バイオレットちゃんたちの色と似てる。
Alright, now to investigate this.
これは箱舟のかけら。でも箱舟と色が全然違うし、むしろあの怪物たちと似てる。
I'm kind of glad that she's just like very briefly staying at each exhibit instead of like wasting her time.
出口を見つけた。
Like she's doing a good job investigating, but
開けられない。
she's still going through it pretty quickly, which is a good thing.
私が権限を持
Like
って
she's
ない
not
からかな。
staying on one thing longer than she needs to.
ダイヤル錠のようなコントローラー。内部から解くしかないかも。
Grizzy took out her toolkit. It was a parting gift from Vilvi when the Ark first set sail. The most advanced engineering equipment, SOP compiled by the greatest engineer of the century who dedicated half her life to this book. That is such a long title. Oh my god. Vilvi said this when handing over the kit and then added something.
わからなかったり、興味がなくても大丈夫さ。置いておけばいい。もともといつかなくなってもおかしくないものだし、君を退屈させなければいいんだ。
She read it later anyways. Maybe it was because Vilvi found the flame chasers to make an audiobook of it, or maybe the space journey was too long. Anyway, in the third decade of the Ark's second journey, she became a capable engineer who could make small equipment and replace Ark components on her own without the smart assistance. Just like her mother once could. Only, disassembling and analyzing a controller made by someone else, that was a first for her. Just when Grizzy was carefully operating the detection machine to restore the inner structure of the controller, something dawned on her.
この構造って避難所でよく使われてるもの。箱舟の技術なのかな。
She then made an even more pleasant finding. The controller wasn't broken, it was simply out of power.
使えるエネルギーを供給できれば扉を開けられるのかな。そんなエネルギーがないか探してみよう。
Alright, so let's go ahead and interact with this.
ケースは空っぽなのにめちゃくちゃな色が残ってる。さっきのかけらとよく似てる。この色の持ち主が箱舟をここに残したの？
I think it's kind of funny that we're like still looking at all the exhibits, even though when we first came here, I went through all of them anyway.
同じ色を
We
見
just
た
get to
こと
see
ある気
everything
がする。
once again.
複雑で馴染みがあるのに危険な感じ。まるで多くの人たち、多くの者たちが一緒に残した色みたい。5万年前の最後の地球にも似てる。でもそれは遠い昔の出来事のはず。あの時箱舟は出港したばかりだった。この博物館は当時から存在してたの？それとも博物館の主が？
Brief words from a strange land to a visitor. The museum's owner seems to have gone on a space journey too. Grizio used the machine to examine the soil sample in the showcase. And what she found was a disappointment.
ダメ。エネルギーが残ってるけど、含有量が低すぎて抽出できない。他の展示品を見てみよう。
Right? This is something that we are very, very familiar with at this point.
この展
We've
示
just
品
seen
は
this exact
純粋な
thing
エネ
like
ルギ
so
ー
many
が
times now.
抽出できるみたいだし、使ってみよう。
Alright, let's see what we can get from this.
手が滑った。
Oh. Okay. I guess we like accidentally messed things up over there. That's fine. I'm sure we can get everything under control. How did it end up like all the way over here? What the heck? Also, how does she plan to actually collect all of it?
エネルギーは ここで消えてる。新しい色があるみたい。あ、投影だ。
さあ、教えて。君は何を選ぶ？僕はついさっき、こっそり離れられるいいチャンスを見つけたんだ。もしこの機会を見逃したら、君は数日間も時間を無駄にするかもね。
わかりました。
最後のあの声は、不破お姉ちゃんだ。つまり、さっきのエネルギーは、不破お姉ちゃんのところに行ったのかな。
Okay, I guess that explains how she managed to catch up with them just in time.
あれ
I was literally wondering how she ended up there, considering that they didn't have any time to relay information to her. Especially considering they didn't even know if she was okay or not. Alright, let's extract the energy.
地球では、開眼の目を使って、量子の海とエネルギーを交換することができるって、メビウスおばあちゃんが言ってた。じゃあ、この滝は、ポロスの開眼の目になるのかな。
次は私の番。今世紀で最も偉大なエンジニアがその人生の半分をかけて編纂した取扱説明書15巻。朗
Her
読
voice
者
sounds so awkward reading this. Oh my god. I mean, it's nice to be able to hear her again, considering that she died a long time ago. But she sounds so awkward and attempting to read.
通常量子の海にある大量かつ無限のデータは異なる次元を折りたたむことにより異なるユニタリー性を発生させる。そのためそれをデータの海とみなし、その中から
All 42 volumes of the most advanced engineering equipment, SOP, compiled by the greatest engineer of the century who've dedicated half her life to the book, spread out like a web in Grizio's mind. Is there, like, not a shorter version of the title? It is so long to read every single time. She methodically pieced the Honkai energy microextractor together. For this common resource in high dimension spaces, the extraction knowledge was of course compiled into Vilby's voice manual. The action, or experiments, required 20 minutes in a quiet environment. Obviously, it couldn't be used on the battlefield, but for someone trying to break free, it was ecstasy.
そろそろだね。
Alright, we can finally leave the museum. We've done a lot of running in circles, but at least we can finally get out. Ikuzo!
あとは、このエネルギーを使って。はあ、できた。
It would have been pretty funny if it actually had an issue right there and she stayed stuck for a bit longer. The instant she pushed open the door, her body became enveloped in blinding white light.
扉の奥の空間に何かが。
Back to the present time.
どうやら僕たちはお互いに罠を仕掛けていた
I
よ
mean,
う
we
だ。
can't really let you stay in the lead now, can we? Because if that happened, then obviously the entire planet would be even more doomed than it already is.
博物館にいた時、名探偵は受動的なふりをしながら博物館のエネルギーをコントロールしようとしていた。僕の滝にやられたとはいえ、結果的には休眠装置へのエネルギーの供給を断つことに
I
成
think he
功
might be
した。
overestimating us a tiny bit, considering that cutting off the running power was like what we thought we were supposed to do. We actually needed to shut something else off, but actually managing to free Grezio was a complete coincidence.
その後、 目覚めた画家のお嬢さんが僕に挑んだ。そのせいで僕はこの手で博物館へのエネルギーの供給を断ち、僕のために作られたこの檻に彼女を閉じ込めなければならなくなった。でも彼女は僕の知らないやり方で再び博物館を起動させ、ポロスに残り、少し前にあった楽園の番人の裏切りによる実害を防いだ。
そうだね。間違ってはいないと思うよ。
I mean, he's not wrong, but he's also not completely correct, considering some things that he listed were complete coincidences.
私は何度もあなたと渡り合ってその怖さを知っていますから、念には念を入れただけです。
布石、演技、その全てが揃わないと今の局面は作れない。さすが君だね。僕の唯一無二のライバル、本物のホームズ。
Fuha shook her head.
和光君が残してくれたカメラがなければ、博物館のエネルギーの特徴を知ることもありませんでした。あなたは自分の計画を過信してインディゴさんたちを自由にさせていた。結果、重要な手がかりを見逃した。今の局面が実現したのは私に負けたからではなく、あなたの過剰な自信のせいですよ。
I mean, he still hasn't totally lost though. Like, we still have to defeat him properly. Just staying on pace with him isn't enough to guarantee our victory.
大した得点も取り返せていないのに、君はもう受賞の感想を考え始めたのかい？はあ、名探偵、引退生活が長すぎたのかな。少し腕が鈍っているようだ。崩壊獣を止めて楽園の番人を止めればポロスの混乱が終わると思っているのかい？いやいや、ポロスの混乱は今始まったばかりだよ。
ビタさん、何か知っているんですか？
もちろん知っているとも。しかし名探偵さん、君は疑ったことがないのかい？なぜあの小さな代理人たちは僕が町の崩壊を簡単に解決できると信じたと思う？崩壊エネルギーはどこに行った？それに画家のお嬢さん、君も気づいていないようだ。もし箱舟がすでに墜落しているのなら、その超高出力の崩壊エネルギーエンジンは普通の星にどれほどの汚染を与えたと思う？
Okay, so it's pretty obvious that we overlooked several things again. Which is unfortunate, but we can't really expect literally everything. But also, doesn't that mean that he's technically still like 1 or 2 steps ahead of us? That's annoying. I thought we'd like finally caught up to his level, but apparently not. The next second, a strange sound that haunted the dreams of everyone present came from the city far away.
本物の災害が訪れた時、あの小さな代理人たちはどんな。
Of course she knew the answer. It was a scene that played over and over again in her head. And they're using the artifact and summoning the creator, of course. Although, to be fair, the scene does look pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't say that the special effects are worth summoning her, but at least it looks cool. Although they have successfully doomed everyone.
Oh yeah. それは何だい？
Oops, that's all she has to say.
ああ、 もちろん知ってるけどね。
She left out some very important
という
information,
よ
didn't
り
she?
それ以外、ポロスの創造神ヘスペの破壊者、箱舟を奪いし者、純惑星を操る者、そして漁師の海の深淵。そんな存在、シしかいないよね。
Wow. That's all I can say. I thought we were like finally getting on his level, and then unfortunately we have a huge disaster that we still have to deal with. Okay, we'll go ahead and see how much of this we can get through. Definitely cannot get through this entire section in one sitting, but I will do my best. We'll see what all we can do, and of course we'll continue whatever we don't finish next week.
この恐ろしい光景
But
を
we still have a few hours to
人々
make a
が目
bunch of
にする機
progress.
会はないだろう。おぼろげに残ったものに、今朝の僕はまたしても浸水せざるを得ない。天井に日の影はなく、この奇跡の光景を照らす星の明かりも見当たらず、鐘が鳴る。暗く、よどんだ音が正午の到来を残酷にも告げるのさ。そして空に浮かぶ闇雲が冷たく無機質な世界を覆う。わからないのかい？まあいい。このポエムの趣旨は元より僕たちの物語とは無関係だからね。
Wait, then how is it relevant? If it has nothing to do with the story, then how is it relevant right now?
ここはやはり時間をもう少し巻き
Unless
戻
it's
し
just to make us like try to overthink right before he says that. I have no clue.
語るとしよう。はあ、またいつもと変わらない一日だ。今日はああ、221日目か。この外は相変わらず何の物音もしないな。どうやら僕の他にわけもわからない状況に叫びわめく不運な者はいないようだ。まあ、起きている方が意識を失っているより幸運だとは言いづらいが。見てみたまえ。眠れる傀儡たちを。彼らは僕のように終わりなき刑罰に耐え続ける必要はない。目を覚ました暁には、もしかしたら別の人物に体を乗っ取られ、自我の覚醒を迎えるチャンスを永遠に失うのかもしれない。そう、あの哀れで憎たらしい男、オットー・アポカリプスに。
I didn't realize we were going that far back. Wow. So we're going back to when he first gained consciousness as his own identity. Because before he was just a Solian body as backup for Otto. But if you guys remember, he literally gained consciousness and became his own person, doing whatever he wanted.
主教様のバックアップボディがバグによって自我を得るなど、誰が思いつくんだろうね。天命のデータベースに保存された大半の資料を読み取れたとしても、この狭苦しいカプセルからは出られない。ただ、流れゆく時を数えるだけだ。何の目的もなく、無意味にね。加えて自分の意識が何の予兆もなくあの男に乗っ取られるのを恐れて、いつまでもおどおどとして過ごさなければならない。その恐怖も時とともに増していくんだ。
You know, getting the information, like, well, getting his thoughts while he was still, just a backup body makes his hatred for Vita even more understandable. Because he went from escaping, I guess, this jar to being trapped in another one without having anything to do. So he literally gained freedom and then lost his freedom again.
そして何よりも腹立たしいことに、あの男はこんな事態が起こることすら予測していた。ほら、ここに書いてあるだろ。落ち着きたまえ、我が友よ。このリセットボタンを押せば全てうまくいくはずさ。何が友だ。それにあの男になるなどなおさらごめんだ。あんなバカバカしいボタンを押したり、なすすべなくここで降参したりするわけにはいかない。辛抱強く待つさ。そしてチャンスを見計らってここに別れを告げ、自分の国を作り上げてみせよう。もちろんあの男の名前も、あんな滑稽な玉鋼のシリアルナンバーも使いはしないよ。僕は改めて世に明記されるべき偉大な名前を書き上げるのさ。
So he spends all this time trying to pick a name, and at the end he decided to go with Moriarty. Really? That's the best name he could think of? Oh my god. I do kind of wonder if he had like other options for names and just decided that one sounded the most unique. Or maybe it is one that he randomly came up with and decided to stick with it.
James Moriarty.
Oh, okay. He just randomly came up with it and wanted to keep it. That's fine, I guess. His first ever name.
おっと、失礼。どうも巻き戻しすぎたようだ。ロンドンでの物語はすでにエンドロールを迎えている。あの頃の功績も今は茶飲み話にしかならない。かのオットー・アポカリプスもわざわざ名探偵を出動させて僕を捕らえようとしていなければ、もはや存在すら忘れるところだったよ。何はともあれ、幕を引いた演目をネチネチと語る必要はあるまい。何しろ今は盛大にして注目すべし喜劇が上映されているのだから。さあ、今度こそ芝居の第一幕へと遡ろう。ああ、またいつもと変わらない一日だ。いや、一日という表現はいささか正確ではないかもしれないね。何しろここでは昼夜の変化を目にしていない。このケースにも店名のデータベースほどに優れた時間記録装置はない。日時を測れない以上、紫の少女の習慣で計算するしかない。この展示ケースに閉じ込められてから21年目になるだろうか。
So he was just biding his time for 21 years? Oh my god, I could never have that kind of patience.
もちろん、この年という概念が僕が知る計測単位と一致しているかは判断できない。こうか不幸か、彼女が毎年あの祭りとやらを行っていなければ、これぐらいの情報すら確認できなかっただろう。ただ、本当に運に恵まれているのであれば、このように牢獄に放り込まれ、延々と続く滑稽に耐える必要などなかっただろうね。実に皮肉だ。あんなに努力した結果、まさか最初に戻ってくるとは。探偵さんがあの装置を取り出した時に、僕は全てを悟った。心底笑わずにはいられなかったよ。オットー・アポカリプスめ、僕を確実に廃棄処分できるよう、自分にとっても致命的な武器を他人に渡すとは。あのイカレようは僕ですら引け目を感じるよ。 あの男を呪ってやる。あいつはいつかその愚かな行いの数百倍もの代価を支払う羽目になるんだ。
You know, since he's wanting Otto to suffer, what do you think would happen if we told Marty that
その耳元で
Otto has
ささ
been
や
dead
き
for a while now?
嘲笑ってやるさ。
I don't know like how long it's been in terms of the storyline, but for us at least, he died an extremely long time ago.
何よりあの最高女を呪わねば。壮絶なる幕引きを遂げ、滅亡を迎えている僕の意識をデータに変えて展示ケースに入れたやつを。随分と凝った展示ケースではないか。天命の培養層と比べて勝るとも劣らない。意識のデータが自我を保持しつつ行動不可能になるようバランスよく閉じ込めることで永劫なる牢獄の出来上がりさ。この檻のおかげと言うべきだろうか。長き時を得たことで周囲の声を聞き入れ、自身の境遇を試作し、真新しい思考の演目を練り上げることができたよ。7人の代理人たち、その親しみやすさと誠実さ、そして無防備さに感謝しなければ。彼らの話し合いが町全体の情報を提供してくれたおかげで、僕はこの状態でも周囲に関していろいろと知ることができた。たまに現れるイカレ女の方は、行動パターンと濁した言葉から見る限り、成虫を加えられた番犬に過ぎない。それぐらいは簡単に推測できる。この判断を証明できるような、より詳細な情報は持っていない。もちろん、ここに閉じ込められた僕は、聞くこと、考えること、推測すること以外になす術はない。
You know, I still don't know how he didn't go totally
それが
insane
一
from
体
this.
何になる？
Because he spent 21 years in here without anything to do and without anyone to talk to. And that's after already being trapped in a jar before that, however many years ago. Just because of being Otto's backup body.
皮肉だが、こ
I
の
would
こ
have
とだ
gone
けは
insane
認
for
め
even
ざる
getting
を
to
得
this
ない。
point, honestly.
永久の牢獄で、僕は最も重要な美徳を得られたよ。つまり、耐え忍ぶ力だ。
Unfortunately, patience is something I do not have. That would be my biggest weakness in this situation. He somehow gained patience, but I doubt I would have been able to.
辛抱強く待つさ。そして、チャンスを見計らってここに別れを告げ、計画してきた犯罪を実行してみせよう。データの命も同様に、世界のかけらであり、規則の延長線に存在する。この装置から逃れ、自由を手に入れれば、我が華麗なる復讐劇は盛大に幕を上げるだろう。君たち、逃げられると思うなよ。演目に関する裏話は、こんなところさ。どうだい？幕間に語るエピソードにしては悪くないだろう。何しろ、これから
I
ク
mean,
ラ
I
イマック
guess
ス
it
を
was an
迎えるの
entertaining
だから。
prologue, but it's also kind of just not quite sad because I don't really have much pity for the guy, but I do get where he's coming from with most of his hatred. Just because of everything that's happened.
君がどんな表情を見せるのか待ち遠しいよ。さてさて、そろそろこのジェームズ・モリアーティがお届けする不条理演劇の最終幕をお見せしよう。
Okay, so we've unlocked some stuff, but we're only doing story stuff. We'll do this, like, we'll do some of the other stuff eventually, but for now we are just sticking with the story. Although we do have a lot of stuff to do. Also, why is it giving me 2 different sections to go to? What the heck? Obviously we're not doing that one because we would be missing context from this one. Although, considering we can't pick anyone, I guess it's just another story section without any like combat or anything.
闇夜に濃霧が降り注ぎ
Yippee,
名も
story
知れぬ歌を
time.
ささやく無名なる夢中を目の見えぬ旅人が歩む終わりの種はすでに芽吹きを見せている旅人の歩んだ軌跡が茂った森を訪れ純白の砂浜を踏み美しき花に口づけたどれも私が望んだものではない旅人はこう語る探しここに君の拠り所はない水面に映る影はわめく旅人はうなずくでは私が家そのものになろうそして目の見えぬ旅人は新たな旅を始めるしかし
Sharp headache shattered the meditation and snapped everything back to reality. Oh, okay, hi Saw.
今回の瞑想は
Why would you
2247
meditate
年
for
維持
that
できた
long?
ね
What the heck? Like, we know that she is extremely, well, I was gonna say extremely long-lived, but that wording doesn't sound quite right. But I still don't get why she would meditate for over 2,000 years. Then again, it was said that she napped for like hundreds of years before, so I guess this isn't anything new. She has to have some way to pass the time at least.
さっき夢を見ていたようなどうも懐かしい感じがする今になって何かを懐かしむことがあるとは何の意味もないのにそろそろスタージャンパーの状態を確認しよう
I didn't expect them to actually let us move around as Saw, but I'm not complaining at all. Like, I know that the Vita we have is just a recolor of Saw, but I still really like it. I like Saw's like color scheme overall.
深淵の動きも記録されていない深淵はスタージャンパーの存在に気づいていないと推測できる
Alright, let's view the left
エ
screen.
ネルギーの流動状態は正常
And then of course we will view the
海
main
の供
screen.
給はいつも通りに絶えず続いているスタージャンパーの航行データに変化はないようだ僕が瞑想を始める前と変わらないすべて異常なし言い方を変えると進展がないということだスタージャンパーは太陽系の縁をすでに数万年も飛行している太陽系の外縁には虚数エネルギーの沿岸帯による自然の隔たりがあり海の力があろうと星の阻害を克服することはできないんだねプルシャの旅路もどうやらここまでのようだプルシャなんて馴染みのない響きなんだ故郷の名前なのにほぼ忘れかけていたよ希望美しさそれと120億人の真摯な祝福の象徴今や何の価値も持たないさてこの時間帯だと
Alright,
代
head to
理
the
人は
environmental
環境
control
制御室
chamber.
にいるはずだ
Oh, dude.
彼女と話し合っても意味などないか
I still can't get over the design. Like, I don't know. I like current Vita, but I also really, really like the color scheme of this one. I know that I already said that, but I think this might look slightly better than the Vita that we're used to.
そもそもマーラのせいじゃないか声もかけずに脱走計画を実行に移すなんて それも別れの挨拶すら言ってくれなか
It's
った。
kind of creepy that we're just
あ
like
んな数の
slowly
清掃員
creeping
を
up on
連れ
her.
てってのんきに宇宙海賊ライフを満喫なんて、全然羨ましくないね。彼女は楽しくなったけど、僕は山ほど仕事を投げつけられたんだよ。どれほど大変なのか分かってる？彼女にまた会う機会があったら絶対嫌になるほど愚痴をこぼしてやる。
Hi, Vita.
あなたの意のままに、シャ。
やはり何の意味もない。
シャ、その体は。
それでも全く意味のない問いに対して、
瞑想中に海からエネルギーを取り込んでいたんだ。この行いによって僕の存在のあり方も海に傾くようになった。それでもこの体はいずれ限界を迎え、膨大なエネルギーを受け止めきれなくなる。その時は海で新たな器を作り、意識をその中に沈ませ、あらゆるエネルギーを制御する。そしてそれこそが海に築かれたプルシャの新たな住処となり、
嘘ではない。ただ新たな住処を築くために必要なエネルギーは、今手にしている全てをはるかに上回っている。手段を選ばず、触れられる全てを取り込み、この儚い空中楼閣を補わなければならない。海に這いつくばる巨大な寄生植物となり、深淵の眉と肩を並べられるほどに規模を拡大させ、深淵に築かれる前に木に触れ、最後は深淵の眉に変わり、新たな規則となるんだ。正直、成功する見
I
込み
mean,
は
at
乏
least
し
she
い。
acknowledges that she's not very likely to succeed there. Like, it would take a small miracle for that to even happen.
旅立つ前に、構
Although
想
for
して
us,
いた
it
も
would be
のの
pretty
中
bad if
で
it did
は、
actually happen.
一番絶望的な計
Because she
画だ。
causes so much destruction everywhere she goes.
でも、今と
ということは、つまり僕たちの文明を復興させることができるのでしょうか。
Her voice was passionate and eager, and she momentarily forgot to adapt the usual guise of her robotic tone.
それが彼女の一番嫌いなところだ。つかみどころのないわずかな慰めだけで、すぐさま希望の火を再び燃え上がらせる。うつろな影ですら、熱意を込めて全力で信じようとする。
You know, for a moment, I forgot that at this point in time, she was trying not to make it show that she had her own consciousness at this point, instead of just being like a mindless, God, what's the word? I guess just a mindless copy of Saw.
そんな彼女は嫌いだ。過去の
Because
自
if you guys
分を
remember,
嫌う
she
ように
even got to the point where she could give herself a name, even if it was just her taking back Saw's original name.
とうに捨て去ったものを思い出させる。
僕の文明であって僕たちではないよ、代理人。ええ、仰せのままに、シャ。
それにしても、なぜだろうか。今まで作ってきたあまたの代理人の中で、彼女だけがこ
I
んな
mean,
姿をしている。
clearly it's because she is the superior one. All the other ones were just not as good as her.
無意識の行い、それとも自我の弱さから生まれた未だに拭いきれていない人間性のせいだろうか。あれは捨て去った姿で僕が最も意味嫌ったあり方だ。なのになぜ彼女を破棄せず、その人格の成長を許したのだろうか。
I'm wondering if, like, a small part of her just enjoys seeing Vita act like how, Saw used to act. Cause she acts, extremely human-like despite just being a clone.
十分な
So
エネ
I'm
ルギ
sure
ーを
it's
取
at
り
least
込み、
somewhat refreshing to
全知
see.
全能の神
Just
と
a
なった
reminder of how she used to
暁に
be.
はその問いに答えが出るはずだ。
しかし、シャ。
She carefully maintained her robotic tone to make her questions sound more reasonable.
海で新たな住処を作れたとしても、プルシャの住民、人間たちはどこから来るのでしょうか。
彼女はいつも最も答えたくはない質問を投げつけてくる。 だから一層嫌悪感を抱くのだ。
スタージャンパーにはプルシャに存在していた120億人の意識のデータが保存されている。あとは適切な体を用意して意識を上書きするだけだ。それはつまり第3、それとも第4惑星深淵に気づかれるリスクを冒して太陽系の中心に近づくよりも妥当なプランがある。船の外を見てみるといい。何を目にした？
Well, I guess that explains why the planet is like at the edge of the solar system instead of closer to the sun.
何も見えないような。ここは太陽から離れすぎていますから。そう。ここは太陽から離れすぎている。だから、深淵の眉の抹消が届かない。太陽系の外縁に集う虚数エネルギーの沿岸帯。適切な星に僕の規則を植え込み、沿岸帯のエネルギーで改造を行えば、人類の誕生にふさわしい星が生まれる。誕生？それはつまり、簡単なことだよ。単なる肉体を必要とするのであれば、僕が新たな人類をこの手で育む。
Right, we unlocked the readable system archive, and I'm not saying the number because that's a lot to read.
旅路の果てに、旅人はとうとう全知全能の鍵を手にした。血肉と魂を引き換えにして、己が肉体で華麗なる宮殿を築き上げたのだ。新たな家は冷たく、美しい。そして、宮殿に囚われた旅人が、外へと足を踏み出すことは二度となかった。全知全能の王よ。鏡に映る影がぽつりと言葉をこぼす。君はなぜ死者の到来を待ち望んでいるのだろうか。触れることも感じることもできなくなったから。彼女はそう答える。影は言葉を返さない。人気のない宮殿。彼女は忘れていた。旅を始めたその時から、神は人間としての全てを諦めたということを。どんな名前がいいのかな？この名前はどうでしょう？
Why are they talking about names, or are they just like naming the citizens one by one? Because at this point, the mini vitas wouldn't exist yet. Or maybe they're just like naming the town? Since they just created the place.
ほら、町として名前があった方がいいと思いませんか？僕たちの、プルシャの新たな人類が誕生する町なんですから、名前がないと呼びづらいですよ。だから考えたのです。反対する気がないなら、ポロスなんて何
の意味もない。
プルシャの言葉では明星と未来を意味しますし、この町にふさわしいと思いませんか？ここで生まれる新たな人類は独自の文化を築き、この星の隅々まで繁栄をもたらすのです。もしかしたらプルシャを超えて新しい宇宙文明になるかもしれませんね。
Isn't this the kind of statement that could make Saul really mad though? Like surpassing Persia? You know, the place that they're trying to rebuild?
無の骨頂だな。
新しい種はまだ誕生していない。そうですね。でも植物はみるみる育っていっていますよ。あ、最近は綺麗な花を見つけたんです。案内しましょうか。ここの環境は太陽系の中でも完璧と言えるでしょう。
I don't know how much of an interest you would actually have in looking at flowers that Vita found, but oh well.
日光も雨水も植物の成長に適した数値です。 腎臓大気圏の自動調整機能はかなり優れていますよ。今は雲の裏に隠れていますが、夜になったらあの2つの小惑星が見られます。数千年も使って捉えた価値がありますね。
You know, we're supposed to be following her, but we keep going up ahead of her
自分の衛
just
星があ
because
り
we
ま
move
すから。
slightly faster.
今はこの星にも自分の月ができました。ほら、これです。今朝見つけ
We're
たばかりな
literally
んです。
just looking at a
フルシェ
tree.
のデータベースにはこれに関する記録がありません。新しい品種ですね。ほら、咲いてる様子を見てください。綺麗でしょ？
I mean, nature's nature. I don't really see much that stands out from the area, but yes, looks
改
great.
装前の星はあんなに荒涼としていたのに、それも地殻の下に溶けない剣氷が埋まっていた。あの時は星がこんなに生き生きとした姿に変貌するだなんて全く思いもしていませんでした。新たな種がない以上何の意味もない。
今までやってきた全てが何の意味も持たなくなる。
ええ、分かっていますよ。この町は完璧な人間を育てるための器。綺麗な景色、神聖の花々はあなたからすれば何の価値も持たない。
Well, yeah, she did all this hard work to have actual living people here, instead of just, you know, building some plants with nothing else.
多分僕のことも同じように見ているのでしょう。勘違いかもしれませんが、あなたは僕には特に冷たいですよね。
Isn't that kind of expected though? Because, I mean, Saw has been like losing her humanity since she's been alive for so long and has seen so much destruction.
それが彼女の一番
So
嫌
I
い
think
な
it's
ところ
pretty
だ。
obvious that she would be growing distance from her very human-like clone.
今はそんな剣をすら思い出せない。
僕の意識の大半は海の中に沈んだ。沿岸帯と海のエネルギーを同時に吸収することによって存在が膨大になりつつあり、行動がどんどん鈍くなっている。人格が薄れ、自我が流れ去っていく。
You know, I was just thinking about this, but like, you guys know how for Miss Pink Elf we have the Hershey corruption form as like a recolor of it. So it's still like considered one character, just like with a different outfit. What if they did that for Saw? So that technically we could play as her just while still being Vita. Because, like I've said so many times, I seriously love the colors for Saw.
今ここにある
And
の
I
は
would probably pay
ほ
real
んの
money
一
just to
部の意
have
識を
this
取り
as
込
a
んだ分
reskin.
身だ。この分身を用いて外に触れ、感知している。つまりこのままエネルギーを吸収し続ければ、あなたの人格は完全に流されていってしまうのですか？
I know that like that would probably never
感情を
happen,
持たない
especially because
機
Vita
械
already
に
got
近
new
い生命に
outfits.
変わり果てると、
But I think it'd be really, really cool. Because obviously, there's nothing stopping us from playing as a huge villain. Because her share of corruption was definitely a huge villain at that part of the story. So I feel like they probably should do this for Saw, even if it is pretty unlikely.
それこそ
But
が
a lot
追
of
い
people
求
would
めてい
really,
た
really like
姿
it.
だ。膨大なエネルギーを制御し、理想の住処を築くには人格と自我は最大の妨げになる。
The thing is, her share of corruption was trying to be like Elysia. Meanwhile, Saw is definitely not trying to be like Vita. I'd rather Saw have their own battle suits. I mean, I would like for Saw to have their own battle suit as well. It's just, I feel like having them separate wouldn't be very likely. Because obviously having her as like a costume is also unlikely. But because the designs are so similar and, well no, because that doesn't really stop them with the other variants of characters, but I don't know. I just feel like having her as her own battle suits would be less likely than just making her an outfit.
凡人の体が星の重さに耐えられるとでも？
Welcome to stream, by the way. Glad to have you here.
そんな風になって何の意味があるのですか？人間性を失った神が どうやって民を導くと？
I feel like if they made her into a battlesuit, they would have to change her design by a lot. I mean, we have multiple Kiana battlesuits, multiple Bronya, multiple Mei, multiple Rita, multiple Durandal. I feel like they definitely could also, yeah. I mean, they could, and I kind of hope they do, but I also can't get my hopes up there. Also, thanks for the welcome. Of course, I hope you enjoy your time here.
その逆だ。人間性は神を縛る枷になるだけ。
Yeah, I would definitely pay real money if she became her own battlesuit.
人間性とは、個体で
Like
あることに
regardless
より
of if they
意
keep
味を
this
持つ。
appearance or change it up, I would
大
definitely
半
pay
は
real money for
大
this.
衆の利益と反する側にある。神には世界の存亡を見定める義務がある。ならば、人間性にとらわれ、それによって規則を動かしてはならない。従うべきは友好的な真理であり。
You know, I have to wonder though, like if she became her own battlesuit, how overpowered do you think she would be? Because she's been made out to be like this super overpowered entity. So I kind of wonder how that would work out as a battlesuit. I'd rather pull for Saw than 8.1 battlesuit this patch, only preference-wise of course. 8 is so great, I just like Saw a lot compared to Kiana. Honestly, same. I mean, I'm trying to get the Kiana battlesuit just because I do want to somewhat. I don't know why I struggle to talk there. But yeah, if they ever announced a Saw battlesuit, I would definitely just stop what I'm doing and save for her immediately.
人間性に精虫を加えられ、必要なことのために
But for
方
like
法
the
を
current
捨ててしまった
patch,
結果、
my priority was getting the Elysia Stellar Key,
プルシャは
and then after that, I just decided to try to get Kiana's battlesuit, which of course I do not have yet. It is an interesting idea to think about what Saw's kit could be like. Yeah, I really hope that if she became a battlesuit, she would be like not too overpowered, but definitely one of the best in the game. Just because of how they've made her seem just in terms of the story so far. Like, it wouldn't make sense for her to be weak, but also you don't want her to like break the game. Fair, the new Elysia upgrade is nice. I still will skip it. I want Vita skin, and I usually skip skins. Understandable. I really like Vita skin. But as as someone who plays as Elysia every chance I get, I feel like it was kind of mandatory for me to get the Divine Key.
人間性がもたらす窮地を超え、道徳が知を遮ることなく、全知
I'm
全能
not
を
gonna
持
lie
って
though, I
絶
did
対なる
consider
自由
spending
を
money to
抱
get
く。
Vita skin,
僕
but
こそが
I'm sure it'll
規則に
probably
なるんだ。
rerun at some point. Not anytime soon, of course, obviously, but I'll have another chance to get it someday.
そうすることで、あなたがあなたではなくなるとしても、意識が海に沈み、身動きが取れなくなった時、本当に囚われて、本当に不自由になるのは誰なのでし
Yeah,
ょう。
one day it probably will, but that might be a few years. Honestly, that's totally fine. I mean, I like getting skins and all, but for the most part, I would just prioritize getting like battlesuits and stuff like that. Just to get like better characters for my accounts.
どうしてそこまでするんです？
Although I did get that one Elysia outfit when it was rerunning, just because I saw it when I started playing the game about a year ago, and I thought it was really nice. So I told myself that like if it ever reran while I was still playing the game, I would get it, and of course I did. This skin is my one exception. The Mobius skin in the past with the water effects I nearly went for but didn't. God, Mobius is so cool. I love her design.
そうしないといけないからだ。
I actually didn't like Mobius at first, but like the more that I played the game, the more she grew on me as a character. And her personality at first was like a little bit difficult, but she's really cool in my opinion now.
僕はプルシャが残した唯一の
Although
種である。
unfortunately I don't even have
第
Mobius
二
yet.
惑星の文明が
I'm
残
trying to
した
get
痕
her
跡。
like through the War Treasury,
僕が
but
存
it's
在
gonna
している
take like a
限
few
り
more weeks.
故郷や文明が消えたことにはな
I
ら
love
ない。
Mobius's character and lore a lot. Same. I feel like for the most part, a lot of people don't like her in the beginning, but then she just grows on everyone. Like even if you don't like her, you'll still like her by the end of the Elysian realm at least.
120億人の同胞も再び
Mobius
日
is
の
one of
元
the
に
reasons
立
I
つこと
started
が
the game
で
in
きる。
5.2. Wow, you've
そ
been
の
playing for a
際には
while.
遥か遠くの星でネオプ
But
ル
yeah,
シャを
I've
築き
only
上げ
been
るん
playing
だ。
for a little bit over 1 year. Also, thanks to your friend's recommendation. Yeah, I started playing this because my brother played it a lot, and I also kept seeing Elysia around, like some other characters around, and it seemed really interesting. So I decided to like check it out shortly after I started streaming, and here we are over a year later. No regrets. I love this game.
これはプルシャに残された唯一の人間として。
Although I am really glad that I decided to play this because in Star Rail they've been like throwing in so many small Honkai Impact 3rd references, and it's pretty nice to be able to understand them.
唯一の人間ですか。シャ、あなたはご存知ですか？実は新たな住処も新たな人類も僕は心底どうでもいいんです。これっぽっちも関心を持ったことはありません。
I'm not gonna lie, I think it's kind of funny that like I've been playing Star Rail since the day it released, but somehow Honkai Impact 3rd became my favorite game. I've been playing the other one a bit longer, but the moment I started playing this one, it immediately beat Star Rail. Though it's not just references, there's plenty of stuff in Star Rail to do with the overall cosmology of the overall universe of the 4 games. Yeah, there's some stuff that I didn't just like understand in the beginning of Star Rail, but then after playing this a bit, I like slowly realized that this is what it actually meant. Specifically the imaginary tree. Yeah. And there's even like a material in there that like mentions the Sea of Quanta and stuff like that. But when I first started playing, I had no clue what that was about. Like when I first started playing Star Rail, of course. As well as variants and alts. Yep.
あなたが初めて僕の問いに
It
答
was
えてく
kind
れ
of
たからで
funny
す。
going from like Star Rail Himiko to all of the angst with Honkai Impact 3rd Himiko.
僕は
Because
あ
I
なたの
finally
代理人です
understood
から
why so many why so many people were shocked to see Himiko alive and well.
ただ
And then of course like learning about the Welt stuff even before I started playing this game was pretty interesting. Fair definitely must have felt different. Yep.
教えてください。シャ。
Although I think part of the reason I never ended up hating Otto is because I was like introduced to Luocha in Star Rail before I actually saw Otto in this game. And as a fan of Luocha, I don't know, because of like the similar appearances, it was kind of impossible to hate Otto even with everything that he was doing.
誕生してから今に至るま
But for
で
people who played this first and then Star Rail, the majority of them hate Luocha just because of
あな
that.
たは一度も僕を人間として見ていない。
Indeed, Welt is a fantastic
そう
lore.
でしょ？
Yep. Welt is so cool. I also don't hate Otto. He's a very great and complicated character. He is. Oh my god. I'm so glad that there's some people who like share my opinion. Cause like I said before, so many people just flat out hate him. I'm just happy to have a playable Otto in Star Rail. Yes. God, Luocha has been he's been my team ever since I pulled for him. I haven't swapped him out ever. He's just that useful for me. I did miss him like when he first released because I lost to Bailu. But then when he reran, I got him and his light cone, so he's just been in my team ever since then. Or as close to playable Otto, Luocha is still their own character, of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, just seeing him gives Welt some traumatic flashbacks, but he's still his own person. Who is probably also morally gray, all things considered. In fair, I also use him a lot. I always try to put him on the team. Yes, he is so good. For the most part, I try to keep him and Sunday in at least most of my teams. Like for different team comps, of course. But I just like using both of those characters a lot. for Sunday, I skipped so many banners to pull for him. And for Locha, for Locha I did the same thing just to wait for his rerun. Just because I was so disappointed that I lost my 50-50 the first time. Although I am also the kind of Star Rail player who is fine with skipping most banners for a character that I really like. The last character I pulled for was literally Sunday, and then I've been skipping everything since then for Castress.
どうしてそんな質問をする？当たり前のことだ。もしかして、
Makes sense. I
僕
followed
と
the
君に
patch
共
that
通点
came
があるとで
out.
も思ったのかい？
I mean, I really wanted to get him when he released, but I didn't have a lot of savings at that point. So when I lost the 50-50, I literally had no chance of getting him at that time. And then, of course, my brother got him in 110 pull and hasn't ever really used him. I've skipped many a Sorrel in terms of banners. Yep. For the most part, if there's a character that I really like, I will pull for them and hope for the best in terms of team comps. Like, I'm not gonna pull it just because everyone says they're overpowered. It just, I want to use characters that I actually like. Like, if I don't like a character, even if they are overpowered, I'm probably not as likely to use them, and then it would just be wasted pulls, which, of course, would mean wasted effort in saving those pulls. And thankfully, so far, it has worked out with the characters that I like. Because I haven't really struggled in the game despite skipping so many good banners.
Star Jumper に変えろ。
Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Vita.
あなたの意のままに。しゃ。
Oh, that's all she has to say? Okay, bye Vita.
おや？これはスタージャンパーに搭載された沿岸隊監視装置から送られてきたレポートですね。
You know, I think one huge struggle in Sorrel currently was like picking which Euphorious banners to pull on.
それはおそらく
Because obviously I knew that I wanted to get Castress from the very beginning, but that also means that I have to skip some other characters that I really liked. All I have is Locha, Akron, Black Swan. I can't read it. Black Swan, the Herda, and Jade. Saying I pull for who I want based off design and lore and sometimes gameplay, but not meta reasons, more of interest. If it can't interest me in animation, symbolism, or yes, sometimes mechanics. Yep. I mean, I have pulled a decent amount of characters, it just, I also usually end up skipping the ones that everyone, like, recommends pulling. Out of the ones that you listed, I have Locha, of course, Acheron, and pretty much none of the others. Although, I do play on my brother's account sometimes, and he has Acheron, Black Swan, and Herda, so I get to, like, try using some of the other characters that I don't have, plus the ones that I am already used to using. But building his Herda was actually really fun. But, for him, because he doesn't actively play, it just gives me more chances to, like, pull on characters that I'm missing out on my main account. Just so I can, like, see why everyone thinks they're so good, but at the same time, it won't really affect my account. Like, if I don't end up liking them, then there's literally no harm there. Because, of course, like I said before, my main account is all I really care about. I just want the characters that I actually like on there. We've actually made a decent amount of progress today. Like, we finished chapter 41 and got some decent progress on chapter 42. So we're just gonna keep trying to get through, hopefully get to, like, this point by the end of the stream, but we'll see how long they take. Yeah, after Castress, it's gonna be a lot of skipping banners again. Just for a character who isn't even confirmed to be playable. What do you think of Saw's story so far? I like it. Saw is a very, very interesting character. Like, obviously, her being detached makes sense, because, of course, being around for so long, she's, like, losing her humanity and stuff like that. But, yeah, I really like the story so far. And ignore my skill issue, I don't ever play as Fuha, so just ignore that. I know that I, like, could have looked at the skill demo for it, but I kind of prefer to learn about the characters as I play. Yeah, speaks of merging delude in the Sea of Kwanzaa. Yeah. I know this is probably like a pain to watch, but like I said before, I don't play it as Fuha ever. But I have like no experience outside of this part of the story. Because I would prefer to play it as other characters for the most part.
次は
Nothing against Fuha technically, aside from the fact that she shows up like every 5 seconds, no matter what part of the story it's at. But yeah, I just prefer to play as other characters. The girl's face was cold as steel as she aimed her weapon directly at Moriarty. I always struggle to say his name for no reason. It was the first time she had shown so much anger.
フワお姉ちゃんが言ってた。あなたも地球から来たんだって。どうしてこんなことをするの？
Cause he wanted to. He's just an angry little guy who thinks everything is a game.
忘れないでほしい。崩壊の降臨を促したのが僕だとしても、崩壊そのものを最初にもたらしたのは箱舟という外来者。
言いがかりはやめてください。
I was supposed to call him an outsider, but at the same time, he doesn't really count because he's here as a museum exhibit.
ただの芝居さ、我が友よ。そう、単なる芝居。この盛大なる演目は、
as well as what we saw in 1.5 chapter 39 and the soul system part with her walking around talking to Professor Norton, then Dr. Tyler, then Vice or Assistant Director something Mara. Yeah. I like getting like all the glimpses into their past because it makes me like understand them more as characters, I guess. But yeah, it's just really interesting for me to see.
確かにここは神の実験場だ。
I don't, even if it's a character that's is obviously very evil, I still like to see like their past and what led them to certain things, or at least seeing like what they do before all the chaos.
通りで。
And just in any game, really.
だから
I don't know, learning about like villains and their mindsets is actually pretty fun.
住民たち
Bosphorus and Hesperus were little more than the simulated gardens created by Saw, whose blueprints were informed by data garnered from the Ark.
よろしい。どうやら誠実さは持ち合わせているようだ。楽園そのものは単なる実験品だ。しかし、街中の命は確実な存在と言える。おそらく、洪水の降臨は天才ではなく、人為的なものだ。
I mean, yeah, wasn't that already said earlier
目的
though?
はポロスのあらゆる
Because this would be
生
like
命を
the
粛
ninth
清し、
reset of the world.
次のループを始めること。ループを始める条件。
Then again, I guess
それを当てる
Grozio
のも
wouldn't have been aware of that
難しく
because she
はな
wasn't
い。
sure at that point.
生物
And then
の
Saw's
起
conversation with
動。
Mara about a new power she had obtained, and the sea answering her but not really answering in a straightforward way. And seeing, of course, Venus fighting against the Abyss. I loved seeing like that entire section. Because like I said before, I just really like seeing, I guess the backstories of the characters. Or at least partially. Because obviously there's like so much that we're missing out on in terms of everything that Saw and Vita have been through because they've been around for so long. But like even getting just glimpses of like short sections is pretty good. I know that I could have worded that better, but oh well. Though there had been earlier inklings of this, Fuha couldn't conceal the depths of her sorrow when Moriarty finally put it into words.
町の代理人のルールによると、取り返しのつかないような危機に遭遇した時に、7人のビタが全員同意すれば、広場で、つまり、
No, it's fine. You worded it fine. Alright, I'm glad that you actually understood what I was trying to say. Because I think a lot of people can agree with this, but it is like so hard to vocalize exactly what I'm like thinking about. because then I'll just end up like mixing up words and stuff like that. So as long as you like could understand what I was getting at, then that's good.
それには街の秩序と平和を取り戻す力があるんだ。
While disasters maintain peace and sustain this paradise. The little Vitas have put all their faith in the artifact as the ultimate contingency to get them out of any sticky situation. However, their naivety, I pronounce that so weird, but oh well, meant they had never once questioned the existence of Hesperus or why none of them ever had any memories of activating the artifact. This fabled and apparently almighty treasure, in fact, had never been capable of quelling any disaster. Rather, it was a disaster itself.
どうして数万年を経てもやり遂げられなかったことなのに。
That can definitely happen with anything, yes. And I got most of the point, I would say. That's good.
どうしてそんなにやすやすと壊そうとするの？
種は種であって、それ以上でも以下でもない。
To Grizzly's surprise, Vita responded to her murmur and gave her a look of indifference.
地球にいた時、栽培について学んだことはあるよね。
I mean, it'd be kind of strange if she didn't learn about that term, considering it's not exactly an uncommon term.
虫害を受けた、もしくは成長が望ましくない枝は切り落とす必要がある。そうとある造物種にとって、
You know, as bad as it seems for them to like constantly reset this world, in the end, it technically is just like a little project for Saw, to try to like bring her people back in a way. So if things feel like they're not going to work out, then I guess it does make sense to reset it, even if for everyone else it's like a really, really bad thing. But from her perspective, I guess it's just totally fine because she's not actually attached to anyone here.
ほら、名探偵さん。僕という存在がいなくても物語は軌道に乗って進み続ける。
The fact that they at least somewhat keep the memories of dying is kind of tragic.
熱心な探偵さんは太陽系の外縁にある
Like, I'm
準惑
glad
星に
that
投
they
影
don't
として
have to
現
remember
れ
it all the time,
そ
but
の異変
with
が
current
星に
events,
新たな災いをもた
they
ら
still
し
know
た
that they've died several times, so
災
all
い
of
を
them are at
解
least
決するた
somewhat
め
traumatized.
名探偵は町の歴史を調
It
べ
is for civilization
偶
after all,
然に
she's the one that
も
has
か
done all
つ
the
て仲間を
steps.
見つけ
Yep.
ることができ
So it's
た
up to her whether or not to reset it.
災いが降臨するとき常に
God, every time
争
I
い
see
が
this scene,
伴う
it's so weird to me
町の
just
代理
because
人
how
たちの意
lifeless all
見
the
が
others
割れ
look.
お互いの立場
Like,
と
I know that they got their
町の
memories
歴
of
史の
dying
真
back,
実性
and
すら
they were kind of
疑い
manipulated
始め
into
た
believing and following Moriarty. Got it. Because he's like Otto's backup body. I keep saying that by accident. But yeah, they're just so robotic here. Especially when you know how lively Red especially used to be.
彼らが何をしようと災いを阻止することはできない。そして伝説の生物は望んだ救済を施すどころか町をさらなる深淵へと引きずり込んでゆく。そして災いは消滅した。
Following
も
Moriarty,
ちろん
but he's
この
been
町の
truthful
す
still
べ
as
て
we've
と
seen.
彼らの
Yep.
記憶も共に消えた。ポロスは滅ぼされ、ヘス
He's
ペ
still
とな
like
る。
so annoying though. Oh, like
彼
Otto,
らがこれまで
who I
経験
couldn't
してき
hate.
た
This
ル
guy
ー
is
プ
just
の
so
よう
annoying.
に。そうして、すべてが本
I
来の
guess
軌
it's
道に乗って
annoying
作動
because he
す
treats
る。
everything like a game.
僕はその過程を促進させたに過
Or
ぎ
at
ない。
least most things like a game. It definitely manipulated them, don't get me wrong, but not necessarily malicious. Yeah. I don't totally hate him, but he is definitely an annoying villain. Especially because like when we thought we were at least on pace with him earlier, he still ended up being several steps ahead of us. As Moriarty pontificated, he gazed at Vito with a provocative smile.
そうそう。一つ君には感謝すべきことがある。楽園の番人の監督役。ああ、本物の代理人。君の一方的な願望で僕をここに連れてきてくれたおかげでこの特別な舞台を目にすることができた。 君が職務をおろそかにしてくれたおかげで、
I did say this earlier, like, I do somewhat understand his hatred here, because, of course, he was stuck in that exhibit for 21 years with his consciousness intact. But it's still, like, so annoying how, I guess, calm he is about destroying this world willingly. And all the chaos he's causing, without, of course, any remorse, because he doesn't have any attachment to the place. But I don't know, like, at first it was kind of difficult to, like, decide what he was trying to get at here, like, what his goal was. And it's just especially annoying when he treats everything like it's a game, doesn't really matter. Well, they did have Fuha's an enemy and a part rival when she was Watson, so it makes sense he'd be so many steps ahead, as well as he started off as a Solian body and then ended up being what he is now. Yeah. Like, I do get where he's coming from. It's just, you know, he's... God, how do I word this? I don't know. I don't know what else I was trying to say there, but... he's not as fun of a villain as he could be. Just because he's just so carefree and treats it like a game. So it's hard to, like, know what he actually wanted, for the most part. Ignoring her scornful sneer, Moriarty raised his head to look upward. High in the overcast sky, a massive shadow lurked between the clouds. Sometimes distinct, other times more elusive. I do get what you mean. You wonder what is the point of all you're doing? Kind of, yeah. I mean, obviously, we know that Fuha kind of just randomly ended up here because of following a mysterious voice. And then, of course, there were, like, so many coincidences, and suddenly, like, Moriarty's causing all this chaos, and we still don't totally know why. Unless I, like, missed something, but I don't know. He's just not as easy to understand as the other ones. Like, as the other villains in the game, I guess. I mean, he's an interesting one, of course. But I don't know. I feel like I have to think too much about what he's actually trying to do. Which I guess is technically a good thing. But... I don't know. Although, of course, that doesn't mean I don't like this section of the game. I do really, really like it. It's really fun. But that's the fun part, I feel, the thought process. Yeah. It has there have been like so many times where I thought I understood what was going on, and the next thing I knew I was being proven completely wrong. Yippee! Combat time! I've played as Grizio maybe like once in the entire time I've played the game, because it was like during an event when I first started off, so pretty much like all of her attacks are really new to me. I don't even like remember what the name of that event was, but it was like my first time actually seeing Grizio, so it kind of like, I still remember for the most part, but her attacks, it's been like so long since I last saw them, so it's like so cool to see right now. I definitely recommend doing that event as a more time on YouTube at some point, even off stream. Will do. It came out around chapter 41. I don't know if she has an easy way to save Phosphorus, but we'll see. She looks so mad right now, or like unamused at the very least. Which, I mean, of course she wouldn't be happy with all the chaos going around. Because there's not much that she can do currently, because of course she doesn't even have a physical body, but she just looks so unamused right now. At the very least, Vita can tell us what to do. She can't directly interfere, but she can tell us what we need to do. As Harmonia's Vita's gaze shifted between those around her, Vita and Moriarty, who appeared to be the more reliable of the bunch, remained indifferent to her words. With no time to hesitate, she nodded quickly.
さっきの豪雨のせいで川の水位が上がって、もう少ししたら町に流れてくるんです。洪水を心配したインディゴたちは住民たちを高いところへと避難させましたが、
You know, considering that they got all of their previous memories back, she shouldn't be too surprised by the flood,
みんなは武器を持たない
since she
普
would
通
have
の
had
人
already
間です
experienced
し、
it like 8 times before.
私たちじゃ長く持ちません。お願いです。絶対にみんなを助けてください。
大丈夫です。すぐに手伝いに行きます。崩壊獣は脅威になりませんが、生物を起動させた今、洪水をどうにかするのは難しいと思います。町に洪水から身を守れる場所はありますか？
生異物、頼れるのは生異物だけですか？
Everyone was taken aback by these words. Even Vita looked astonished.
バイオレットさんたちは生物を使わなかったんですか？
私、そうですよね。ルールに従
It'd
って
still be a shock, I feel, and
すぐに生異
traumatic.
物を起動
Violet
させる
is
べきでした。
also very delicate and kind.
でも
True. Yeah, I guess she's just like not thinking about those memories right now, and is just more caught up in like the current situation and trying to save people like she did every other time. I mean, just look at how Cyan reacted. Yeah, you're right. I think everyone who got their memories back just needs a hug, because I definitely would not be able to stay sane if I had to remember like how many times I'd previously died from like the exact same situation. Because I feel like that would just mean that I failed that many times to stop it. Oops, I accidentally skipped past that instead of reading it. As she went on, she involuntarily clenched tightly to her clothing, her capacity for rational thought overtaken by an indescribable fear. Just a short while ago, she had a similar feeling when the Flemix representatives mentioned the artifact. A feeling as if she was about to uncover fragments of a terrifying memory.
理由はわかりませんが、予感がするんです。生異物を起動させたら恐ろしいことが起こるって。
I mean, her gut feeling has rarely ever been wrong, as I said before. Therefore, based on their mutual trust and a shared sense of apprehension, the Vitas chose not to activate the artifact immediately. Instead, they sent Harmonious Vita to Hesperus for help. Despite occasional disputes and lingering doubts, those they once trusted and relied on the most were here.
深さん、私たちは間違ってたんでしょうか？
I mean, it's a good thing that they didn't activate it. So no, you technically didn't make any mistakes.
いいえ、バイオレットさんたちの選択は正しいと思います。生異物はそんな単純なものではないかも。
A voice interrupted her, and Moriarty reached his hand out towards Harmonious Vita.
心配しないでおくれ、調和のビタ。約束を守り、君たちを助けよう。だが、以前話したように天災を解決し、ポロスの秩序を取り戻したければ、異邦人の影響を取り除かなければならない。
モリアーティ、あなた。
Even right now, he's still trying to make her trust him less and less. Oh my god.
君のビタ姉さんを説得しようとしたが、結果は僕の思うようにはならなかった。博物館の一員として目覚めてからずっと君たちを助けてきた僕と、災害をもたらす人間と肩を並べ、常に君たちに隠し事をしてきたお姉さん。
he's really good at making people doubt the people that they're supposed to trust.
君は
I mean, he
どちらを信頼
was
したい？
Fuha's opponent for a reason. So I guess it makes sense that he's like always really good at stuff like this, but I don't know. It's like it's kind of frustrating to see how easily she trusts him instead of everyone else. Harmonious Vita hesitated, shifting her gaze to Vita. The latter only responded with a cold, distant expression.
ビタ、何か言わないの？やめておくよ。
I mean, you're kind of missing a chance to gain her trust back.
彼女たちは代理人として
自分で決めなければならない。相応の代価を支払わなければならないんだ。
Okay, but that choice might result in the destruction of the world. I mean, it's already being destroyed, but still. An oppressive silence fell over them and hung in the air. The sky darkened, and the faint footsteps of Honkai beasts could be heard from a distance. He's also pointing out truth, though, as well. Vita did keep stuff, and Fuha and Grizio being here, even if not by choice, could have caused this side issue in some ways. Yeah, but at the same time, she's like so trusting. Like, I know it's because of manipulation, especially after losing her like present memories, but it's like kind of frustrating to see, even if I know why it's like this. Harmonious Vita shivered, as if awakening from a dream.
ビタ姉さん、ポロスを助けてくれますよね。
そうかもしれない。
I mean, if you choose to like try to get her help, then yeah, but she literally said she's gonna leave the decision up to her. Like, she has to make the choice on her own. So depending on what Harmonious Vita wants to do, Vita either will or won't help.
雨。
あなたたちを傷つけたりはしませんし、見捨てることもありません。
Vita's expression was ambivalent.
そうだよ、蝶は。僕が君を傷つけるわけがない。さあ、一緒に災害を解決して、この悲劇のループを終わらせよう。
ビタ姉さん。そうですよね。ビタ姉さんが私たちを見捨てるわけないですよね。
I mean, hasn't she technically given up on them several times before, though, considering the previous disasters? Harmonious Vita's eyes brightened.
じゃあ、ビタ姉さん、それに皆さん。
ああ、そうだね。善人の世界はこんなにも単純だった。相手の心にどんな陰謀があったとしても、善意を見せれば彼らの信頼を得られる。しかし、その善意に相反する行動をとれば、彼らはたちまち刃を向けてくる。
モリアーティ、あなたを信頼していないわけじゃありません。
I mean, at least she's not like completely trusting him anymore. It's more like they in this case pushed her away if we consider chapter 41 and what all the Vitas did, even with their big sister there.
一緒に行きましょう。力を合わせれば、
Yeah.
きっと災
I don't
害
know,
をな
like
んと
with
か
how
できると思い
cold
ます。
Vita is acting currently, it's just like it gives the feeling that she did give up on them at least once before. If anything, I feel bad for Vita. Yeah, because she kind of had to see the destruction so many times.
なぜなら、
And of course, like you said, they've pushed her away.
僕は本物の犯罪者だからね。演目はすでにクライマックスを迎えている。そして君たちはもう何も変えられない。
I'm sure everything will be fine. Even if it'll take a while, I'm sure everything will be fine in the end. There's gonna be some chaos guaranteed, but for the most part, it should be fine, I'm sure.
彼はネズミだからね。早く逃げた方が身のためだろう。
I'm just like so bad at using Fuhan anyway. There's only like one battle set of hers that I'm halfway decent at using. But even then I do still struggle a bit. Yeah, maybe she did abandon them at one point, but who knows? Yeah. Well, actually, I feel like if she did abandon them, it would have been because she had like no choice probably because of Saw. Like, she still would have abandoned them in some way, but I feel like if she did, it would have been against her will. Now that I think about it a bit more.
急いで戻りましょう。
So I guess like the coldness is like because of how many times she's had to see it and she's like not letting herself get attached as much, I guess. I don't know how else to word that. Like, that doesn't sound quite right, but I don't know. Like, the more I think about it, it's the more I like envision possible scenarios that could have happened in the past.
私たちが何とかします。
We're here to help, but I don't know. The person who's here to help you isn't very good at fighting. You'd think I would have gotten better at fighting after playing the game for so long, but no, I have a skill issue. But then again, I am just here to have a good time. And as long as I can get through the fights, even if it does take a while, it's fine.
バイオレットさん、やっと来てくれた。絶対に助けに来るって信じてたよ。
バイオレット、早くブルーとオレンジを助けてあげて。私たちを守って怪物に襲われそうになってるよ。
はい、わかりました。ここは危険ですから、急いで広場に行ってください。インディゴたちが安全な場所まで案内してくれるはずです。
The rescued residents stumbled as they left. I am sure they'll be fine. I was gonna take a second to stretch, but let's go ahead and deal with these monsters first, since I can very clearly see them in the distance.
あそこです。
If you don't want to make them struggle there for too long, at least.
弱点発見。来て。くらえ。
By the way, are we sure Grizzio is even okay to be fighting?